Islam Makhachev is officially scared to fight Ilia Topuria. What is going on here? Am I in a simulation? This can't be real life. The dream fight for me, out of any fight that can ever be made in the sport of MMA, this is it. Islam versus Ilia, that's the fight I want to see. And Islam Makhachev is ducking him. What's going on here? Islam Makhachev's team reveals they didn't agree to fight Ilia Topuria next.
Bruh.
Islam still thinks Topuria needs to earn a lightweight title shot. Is this a fever dream? What's going on here? Now look, don't get me wrong. I can kind of understand Islam's point in saying that Ilia Topuria hasn't earned a shot at the lightweight title. I can kind of get where he's coming from. He technically hasn't beat a lightweight. Or has he? Let's take a look. Ilia Topuria, in his last 2 fights, has beaten 2 pound-for-pounders in Alexander Volkanovski, who is the greatest featherweight of all time. So he has beaten the greatest fighter of his division ever. He knocked him out in the 2nd round. The fight after that, Ilia Topuria went in there again with another pound-for-pound fighter in Max Holloway, who's arguably the 2nd best featherweight of all time, if we're being honest. I know people might say Aldo, but when you wake up and realise that Aldo's actually overrated, if we're being honest. Max Holloway's probably the 2nd best. Maybe not now, maybe you'd have Ilia Topuria in there, but at the time, you would say he's the 2nd best. Ilia Topuria then knocks out Max Holloway. Are we going to pretend that these 2 wins are the 2 best back-to-back wins in UFC history? Are we going to sit here and pretend that? You know, I actually cannot believe this. I can't believe Islam Makhachev is doing this. What the fuck? And let's just look at the UFC lightweight rankings quickly. Let's just look. So, you've got Islam as champion. Arman Tsarukyan ranked number 1. I would understand if the UFC turned around and said, we're doing Arman versus Islam 2. Arman is the clear number 1 contender. I would get that. I would be okay with that. But they're not. Dana White has constantly said that Arman Tsarukyan, after he pulled out at UFC 311 due to an injury, will have to fight and win 1 more fight before being in line to fight for the title again. So it's not Arman Tsarukyan. You've got Charles Oliveira. He did beat Michael Chandler in that matchup at UFC 309 that for some reason was deemed the next number 1 contender in the UFC's lightweight division. But Arman Tsarukyan has a win over Charles Oliveira pretty recently. In fact, if I remember correctly, they've had 1 fight. No, Arman hasn't even had a fight in between. Arman's last fight, he beat Charles Oliveira at UFC 300. Oliveira's fight after that, he beat Michael Chandler, who's ranked number 7th. I don't even know how he has that ranking. So, doesn't make much sense for Oliveira to fight Islam Makhachev. Then we've got this guy right here. Justin Gaethje. Justin the highlight reel Gaethje. This name sticks out like a sore thumb, and I'll tell you why. Justin Gaethje, after his win over Rafael Fiziev, who, let's just double check where he is in the rankings. Oh yeah, he's not even in the top 10 and took the fight on short notice, and it was a close competitive fight. So Justin Gaethje is coming off a win over him at UFC 313. In the post-fight press conference, Justin Gaethje did call for a title shot. Islam Makhachev has shown interest in fighting Justin Gaethje, and Dana White has also said that Gaethje might possibly be next for the UFC lightweight title. Sit me down, show me in picture form how the fuck you're going to tell me Justin Gaethje deserves a lightweight title shot over Ilia Topuria. Tell me right now, because I know he's coming off a win over Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev was already coming off a loss when he fought Gaethje, was ranked number 11th, took the fight on short notice, made it competitive. Gaethje did win that, yes, don't get me wrong. But what about the fight before that Gaethje had? Now, we know Dustin Poirier, he's not going to get that fight. Dustin Poirier's got 1 more fight in him, and I think he's done. Dustin Poirier isn't fighting Islam Makhachev, so we don't need to worry about that. The fight before Rafael Fiziev, who did Justin Gaethje face? This man right here, Max Holloway. Now, Max Holloway is ranked number 5 in the UFC's lightweight division. Despite knocking Justin Gaethje out, left him face down on the mat. That's what Max Holloway done to him. And if you look, Who's Ilia Topuria's most recent win? Oh yeah, that's right, the number 5th ranked lightweight in Max Holloway, who just beat Justin Gaethje fairly recently. It's actually insane, and what makes this even worse is I thought Islam was different. I thought Islam was different from these guys on the cliff. I really believed it. I wholeheartedly believed Islam Makhachev was different. Because, if you remember correctly, when he fought Moicano at UFC 311 and they were talking about the change of opponents, blah blah blah, Islam Makhachev was saying this: what does this title represent? It means you're the best in the world, and if you're the best in the world, it doesn't matter who's going to be standing across from you. What do I say? No, never. Let's do it. Bruh. But he turned down a fight against Ilia Topuria. I thought Islam was different. This pains me greatly. This fucking pains me greatly. And what makes this worse is I know now that we're getting Islam Makhachev, Justin Gaethje for the UFC lightweight title, which is just insane. Which is just, if we're being honest, feeding into Islam's legacy. We're just feeding this guy legacy now, because let me know in the comments below, there is nobody outside of Justin Gaethje and his camp that think Justin Gaethje's going to beat Islam Makhachev. Not one person. Not one person. No way, no way, no way. This is the fight to make. Now, I might be glazing Ilia a bit too much here. I might be, you know what I mean? I might be a big fanboy of Ilia. So I might be seeing these through tinted lenses, you can let me know. But if Arman Tsarukyan isn't fighting Islam next, what the fuck are we doing? Ilia Topuria, Islam Makhachev, they're the two best point for point guys in the sport, in my opinion. Islam's 1, Topuria's number 2. I think skill set versus skill set, this is so evenly matched, 50-50 in my opinion. I think Ilia's going to beat him. I'm just being honest. And I think Islam knows Ilia's going to beat him. That's why he's ducking him. Because that is what this is. If this fight has been offered to Islam Makhachev and he has turned down the fight with Ilia Topuria, that's ducking him. That is literally ducking the fight. That is exactly what he's doing. And you know what it is as well? We haven't seen Islam come out and go, no, I want to fight the number 1 guy in my division. That's why I'm not fighting Ilia. I'm fighting Norman in the rematch. I know he pulled out at UFC 311, but he is the rightful guy in this division. He's not even doing that either. The guy's wanting to fight number 3rd ranked. How the fuck he's ranked number 3 after Max Holloway knocked him out? How is Max not above him in the rankings doesn't make sense. He's going to fight Justin Gaethje next. This is insane. This is next level ducking. I can't believe Islam Makhachev's doing this. But you can let me know your opinions in the comments below. I think Ilia, if not Arman, that's my big thing. If not Arman, then Ilia. It is the only one that makes sense. Gaethje makes zero fucking sense. If Gaethje was coming off 2 wins, maybe, and a win of someone in the top 5, top 6, top 8 maybe, okay. He beat Rafael Fiziev on short notice. Fiziev had just lost the Gamrod, had been out for like a year or something due to an injury. Took the fight on short notice. I know he was the favourite in the matchup, but this, I really don't get this. There's no way they do Islam versus Gaethje next. There is no fucking way on this earth. That there's just insane. This is the fight. This is the fight to make. Ilia Topuria has the 2 best back-to-back wins in UFC history. In the entirety of this company. In fact, in the entirety of the sport of MMA, Ilia Topuria has the 2 best back-to-back wins ever. Ever. And he's got a win over someone ranked. I know people are going to say he beat Max Holloway in the featherweight division. And yes, you're right. But Max Holloway's ranked number 5 in the lightweight division. He's a top 5 ranked lightweight. And the only competition that we know of who's going to fight for the belt next is Justin fucking Gaethje. There is no way you can tell me Gaethje has earned this shot over Topuria. No way. Absolutely not. I don't get it. I can't believe this. I'm hoping this is wrong. I'm hoping this is wrong. I hope Islam's team have been misinformed, because you're contradicting yourself here, Islam. Saying that you never say no, but you just fucking did. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Thanks for all the support as always. Let me know what you think of this situation, who fights Islam next, and if Islam does fight Ilia, who do you think wins? And I'll see you again in the next one.